Hi everyone, and welcome back to another combined Southern Campaign edition of Ask a Ranger. My name is Ranger Leah. I'm a park ranger at Kings Mountain National Military Park, and I am glad to welcome you back to the book nook in my living room. I'm excited to team up once again with my fellow Southern Campaign Rangers to bring you Clash of the Commanders 5, where we are flipping the script to provide an answer to the question, who is the most significant female figure in the backcountry? My answer to this question is Mary Patton. Now, why do I believe that Mary Patton is the most significant female figure in the backcountry? For that, I've come up with an explosive, handy-dandy acronym that I believe is fitting for someone of Patton's caliber, and you'll understand why that's funny in a little bit. BOOM! And that stands for Brave, Operos, Overmountain, and Memorialized. First, Mary Patton is brave. She and her husband John migrate from Cumberland County, Pennsylvania, into the Overmountain region, what is now eastern Tennessee, what was then western North Carolina, after the birth of two children, right around the mid-1770s. They travel with those small children over the mountains into what was then Cherokee territory. They're moving illegally, settling in an area that the British King George III had forbade white settlement in his proclamation line of 1763. The journey is difficult and dangerous. They're traveling along a road that is really little more than a path, and they are in constant danger of Cherokee attack. When they reach the Watauga settlement, they build a powder mill from scratch with the help of a family friend, Andrew Taylor, along what becomes known as the Powder Branch. Second, Mary Patton is operos. Now, I had to pull out the dictionary for this one, and there are a couple different ways to take operos. For Mary, she is operos in that she is hardworking and industrious at a task that can be operos, that is wearisome and tedious, the art of gunpowder making. Mary is trained from a young age in this art. She was probably apprenticed to her father, so even before she gets married to John, she knows how to make powder. And they have a powder mill up in Pennsylvania, and when they come to the Overmountain settlements, they build a powder mill there as well, right there on Powder Branch. Now, this work is dirty, difficult, and dangerous. You need three things to make black powder, to make gunpowder. You need sulfur, and you need charcoal, which are both pretty common, a little bit easier to come by. But the third ingredient, saltpeter, or potassium nitrate, is harder to come by naturally. There are some deposits in caves, but Mary most likely used bat guano that she could find in some nearby caves. To make the saltpeter, she and her husband would gather the bat guano into sheds that were covered to protect it from the rain, and they would mix in limestone and old mortar and ashes. And over time, this is a big process, over time they're going to be adding in the runnings from their stable, so urine from their stable, until finally that mixture completes decomposition. When it does that, they add in water to leach through there. The water and the other liquid completely evaporates and the saltpeter has recrystallized. That's just making the saltpeter. Then you have to add in the other ingredients at the mill, where they're actually grinding down the ingredients to make the powder granules. So needless to say, this is an involved process, and it shows how operos Mary Patton is. Third, Mary Patton is Overmountain. When John Sevier and Isaac Shelby are planning their campaign to find Patrick Ferguson, the March of the Overmountain Men, they are in desperate need of gunpowder. And Mary Patton ends up providing 500 pounds of precious gunpowder to the Overmountain Men. It's unclear whether she donated it or she sold it, but regardless, she is answering the call of her community to support these men in their march to find Ferguson. Without her help, without her gunpowder, most likely the campaign and the Battle of Kings Mountain would have never happened. So she is absolutely essential to the campaign of the Over-Mountain Men. And last, Mary Patton is memorialized. While she's not among the most famous women of the American Revolution, she was a heroine in the Over-Mountain region. She was known for what she did for the Kings Mountain campaign. And her descendants placed a large stone on her gravesite in 1932, and I'll read the caption that they etched on that. One of that heroic band who established a civilization in the wilderness. She made the powder used by John Severe's troops in the Battle of Kings Mountain. I hope that my argument was explosive enough to convince you of Mary Patton's caliber and that she is the most significant female figure in the backcountry. But I'll leave it to my fellow Rangers to try to convince you otherwise. Ranger William and the Over-Mountain Victory National Historic Trail will follow me up tomorrow on Sunday. Ranger Roland and Cowpens National Battlefield will follow on Monday, and then Ranger Adrian at 96 National Historic Site will close this out on Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you again soon.